instrument I'm playing is an instrument that is inherent from specifically the sun in southern Africa, and it is an instrument that is an adapted hunting bow with a calabash that people generally keep and ferment milk in, iserwa, and this calabash then creates the girded sound and the resonance. With this one, the calabash is the cavity, and it's played by married women.
Nebakazi Mnukwana plays the uhadi. This traditional Xhosa bow produces only 2 notes, but it creates an atmospheric symphony. Mnukwana, a researcher of Nguni bow music, is accompanied by an unlikely instrument, the cello, played by composer and academic Thokozani Mhlambi. The duet speaks to the universal language that is music.
When we deny our humanity, that's when we start to treat others differently. And that is why we don't see that we're worlds apart. Because in music, as much as it's a gift of the gods, it's the greatest fascination. We will never ever know everything about it, maybe like mathematics, but also the galaxy is wider and our ears become wider. So that vernacular language must be nurtured.
Revisiting the archive and finding sources of inspiration from the archive that allow us to speak as who we are today. What she said about vernacular, about us having our own language, and that musical language is not stuck in some primitive past, because these things are being played right now, and as Africans engage with them, they are also transforming them.
The people that have a preconceived idea of what African music is, maybe drums and marimbas, I think this concert helped dispel that notion. It helped show that African music is sophisticated and it's beautiful and it draws your audience in, and that's what we want, to celebrate this wonderful African classical music.
Former New York-based Metropolitan Opera soprano Amanda Osorio now resides in South Africa. Along with pianist Adebola Ola, they performed 6 Nigerian folk songs.
The songs are by Akinyuba, and they are about village life, Yoruba village life. So like many great Western classical composers before him, he took the folk songs of his home and he put them into a Western classical format. And so there's 6 of them, so they're all different.
The concert is a collaboration between the Africa Arts Group, the Western Cape Government, and Iziko Museums of South Africa.
This Africa Day celebration is an opportunity for us to renew our commitment to rebuilding our nation, to be reminded of what unites us and what confronts us, and that which continues to divide us. Events such as these are intended to inspire the people of South Africa and the rest of the continent to celebrate our Africanness, and more importantly, to recommit to the efforts of building communities grounded on positive shared African values and principles.
Inspired by the unique richness of traditional African music, Martin Scherzinger composed What is the Grass in honor of Nelson Mandela.
We often hear sort of cliched descriptions of African music, that it's very rhythmic, that it's full of timbre, etc. What I wanted to do was actually kind of simplify the timbre and in some sense underplay the rhythms so that what could bring forth was some of the harmonic, melodic power of this music that is sometimes difficult for an outsider to hear because the instruments are so timbrally rich. So that's the project. It's like trying to seek out the values of one system within the other by allowing them to speak to each other.
Music inspired by the old, reworked, reimagined. And in it, there are no boundaries or countries, just infinite possibilities. Mariska Botha, SABC News, Cape Town.